Hello students. So in this lecture number 5 for unit number 2, we will deal with the accumulators and intensifier. Now accumulators and intensifier are also called as accessory in the hydraulic system because those are not essential part of a system, but if they are present in a system then they will increase the efficiency of the hydraulic circuit. So let us consider about what exactly the hydraulic accumulators are. So hydraulic accumulators are the devices that stores the potential energy of a incompressible fluid held under pressure by external source against some dynamic force. The dynamic force can come from different sources. The stored potential energy is in the accumulator is the quick secondary source for fluid power capable of doing useful work. There are three basic types of accumulators. First one is weight loaded gravity accumulator, in which dead weight is raised by a fluid and there is an output valve which is usually closed. So whenever we require excess amount of energy in a fluid, we will release that valve, so that will make sure that this the fluid energy is stored in the form of potential energy in this weight, so that will come down with the help of gravity, and by which it will increase the pressure in the output lines in this hydraulic accumulator. So energy of a fluid is stored in the form of potential energy. Again the same type is there. Instead of weight, if we use spring, then the tension force in this spring, the fluid has to overcome this particular tension, the spring force, and it has to compress that spring. So the energy of compression of this spring is nothing but a potential energy, and that is stored, and whenever is required, the output valve is open and the spring is allowed to expand, and the high pressure fluid is delivered to the output line. Then there are third type of mainly gas loaded accumulators are used in practice. So in this gas is compressed with the help of a fluid, and whenever the energy is required at the outlet end of the fluid, the valve is open and gas is allowed to expand, so it will make sure that the high pressure fluid will come to output lines. So depending on the way by which this particular gas is compressed, the gas loaded accumulators are divided into either isothermal compression is there, or isentropic or adiabatic compression is there, or polytropic compression is there. For isothermal process, we know that PV is equal to constant, that is pressure and volume are inversely proportional. For isentropic or adiabatic process, PV raised to gamma is equal to constant is the relationship, where gamma value is 1.4. Wherein in case of polytropic processes, PV raised to n is equal to constant, where value of n lies anywhere between 1 to 1.4. So there are two different types of gas loaded accumulators. First type is non-separator type, in which gas and hydraulic fluid are mixed together and then gas expands. The second type is separator type of accumulator, which has a separate membrane either in a form of a separator or in a form of a diaphragm. So either there will be a piston will act as a separator between the gas and a hydraulic fluid, or there will be a diaphragm. So this is nothing but this idea is nothing but inflating a balloon inside a bottle. Okay, so whatever is the energy which you put to inflate the balloon, that is stored in the fluid which is there in the closed bottle. So that is diaphragm type of accumulator. So this diaphragm is there, that is made up of rubber. So let's consider a bladder type of accumulator or diaphragm type of accumulator. There you will find there is a bladder. Okay, the nitrogen gas is used for charging. Now charging means storing the energy in the accumulator. Then it has a bleed plug. If you open that bleed plug, the energy of this nitrogen gas is provided to this liquid hydraulic fluid, and the hydraulic fluid is supplied to the line wherever the high pressure fluid is required. So you can easily say that whenever we fill the nitrogen gas in this particular bladder, that process is called as a charging. Okay, before charging, the volume of the gas or the nitrogen volume is V0. Now as charging starts, the volume goes on decreasing and the pressure goes on increasing. So because of this, because the inverse relationship, this graph is reverse. So you can find that at P0 V0 the volume is more, the pressure is less. As the volume is going to decrease to V1, the pressure has increased to P1, and when at the final of the charging, the volume of nitrogen gas becomes V2 and the pressure is high, that becomes P2. So let us consider numerical for this. What is the size of accumulator that is necessary to supply 500 centimeter cube of fluid in a hydraulic system of a maximum pressure 200 bar that drops to 100 bar minimum, assuming nitrogen gas precharge pressure is 66 bar. Find the adiabatic and isothermal solutions. So for this we will construct a small diagram that at initially P1 V1, we don't know value of V1 because we don't know what is the size of accumulator, but we know what is the initial pressure on the gas, that is 66 bar. Then we know that it is charged up to 200 bar. Then also we know that after discharge the pressure of that particular gas is around 100 bar. So what is required is that what is the size of accumulator necessary, that we want to find out this V1. Okay, so whenever you want to find out this V1, you should know what is the V2 value. Okay, so in order to find out the V2, you must establish a relation between this P2 V2 and P3 V3. So these three diagrams represents the three stages of the three states of the accumulator. So when we consider isothermal conditions, then we know that P2 V2 is P3 V3, whereas what is given is that it is necessary to supply 500 centimeter of cubic of fluid during the charging process. That means V3 is equal to V2 plus this amount of fluid, 0.0 plus 500 centimeter cube of fluid. So that gives you V3 is equal to V2 plus 0.005. So V3 value is calculated. So then you establish P2 V2 is equal to P3 V3. So you can find out the V2 value, as you know what are P3 and P2 value, as well as you know what is the V3 value. So you can easily find out the relationship between you can easily find out the value of V2. Now as you know, the same relationship exists between P1 V1 and P2 V2. So you can easily find that what is the V1 value. Similarly, this is for isothermal condition when P2 V2 is equal to P1 V1. In case of adiabatic condition, we consider P2 V2 raised to 1.4 is equal to P3 V3 raised to 1.4. So there you can get value of V3, and then you can use that value of value of V2, and you can use that value of V2 to find out the value of V1, that is nothing but the size of accumulator. So this is also a same example. Simply the values are different. So I would request you to find the solution for this particular, or try to understand the solution for this problem which is given here in this slide. Next we will study which are the applications of accumulator. So first application of accumulator is accumulator as an auxiliary power source. So you can find that this particular accumulator is located in this circuit. This is a 2x4 wall. So you can find out that there is an actuator, and wherever the load on this actuator increases, if you make sure that the accumulator supplies to this particular actuator, then the any kind of a high pressure or a high pressure requirements for the circuit can be fulfilled. And you can see that there is a non-return type of a valve that will avoid the accumulator discharge to go again back to the pump and damage that pump. So during normal course of working, the accumulator first get charged, and whenever the high pressure requirements are there in this circuit, the accumulator will act like a auxiliary power source. Again, if you install a simple level sensors in the same circuit which we studied previously, you can say that accumulator can also act like a leakage compensator. That is, wherever the leakage is there in the system, in order to fulfill that leakage requirements, or in order to make sure that there is sufficient flow in the hydraulic circuit, accumulator can accumulate the fluid, and it can dispense that particular fluid whenever it is required, whenever there is a shortage of fluid in the system. Then accumulator can also act like a emergency power source, that whenever you can see that in this particular circuit, this particular actuator will expand, and during the expansion, the energy, whatever the fluid which is trapped at the rod end side of this cylinder, is actually charging the accumulator, and then it has to pass through a pressure relief valve. Now suddenly, if this pump fails to supply, then there may be chances that the load will overrun. Okay, so that is taken care by this accumulator, that this whenever there is a drop in pressure at this rod end line, immediately this accumulator will supply its energy to the rod end side and make sure that there will not be overrunning of the load, and this piston will not bump on the cylinder head. Also, hydraulic accumulators can act like a shock absorber. Whenever there is a abrupt on-off of the or operation of the valves, usually very high pressure waves are created in the hydraulic circuit. If this wave reaches towards this pump, then they may cause damage to this particular pump. So if you install a hydraulic accumulator in this circuit and a check valve, then whatever the shocks are there, which are caused by the abrupt opening and closing of the valves, that energy is absorbed by the accumulator, and that is provided to the circuit again, back to the circuit whenever it is required. Also, the accumulator can act like a thermal expansion compensator, that you can easily see in this diagram. If there is a thermal expansion of the actuator which is connected to a certain application, then the accumulator can provide its energy in the form of whenever it is required at the emergency. Thank you. The next type of device which we are going to study are called as intensifier. Intensifiers are also a kind of accessory in the hydraulic circuit. So a pressure intensifier is used to increase the pressure in a hydraulic system to a value above the pump discharge pressure. The hydraulic intensifiers which can increase the pressure from 7 bar to 2000 bar using a small volume of fluid. So using a small volume of fluid, if you want to achieve a greater amount of pressure surge in a circuit, then you can go for intensifier. So the intensifier operation is quite quicker than the accumulator, and in intensifier immediately delivers the energy, and hydraulic accumulators are actually delivering the energy slowly over the period of time. So that is the difference between these two energy conserving devices. Both are accessories, but there is a difference between hydraulic intensifier and hydraulic accumulator. So this diagram will show you the internal construction of the hydraulic accumulator, hydraulic intensifier. Okay, it contains it is a combination of compressed air and oil. So it works on the both mediums. It has a compressed air on one side and hydraulic oil on the other side of the piston. So let us consider or understand it with the help of application. Now in this particular diagram, you can see the application of intensifier. There are 5 punches which are there, and those are for of a punching press, and those need to be supplied with the energy from a hydraulic intensifier. So the energy which is required to punching for the punching operation is very large, and that energy need to be supplied in a sudden way. So here you can find that this is a intensifier, and from one side of a larger side of the piston, that is intensifier, then the air enters into the intensifier and this oil is getting charged. So whenever it is required, this high pressure oil is delivered to the smaller cylinders in order to perform the work. So whenever this actually intensifier supplies, it supplies at very high pressure, so because of which a very high force can be generated and which can be used for a punching operation. So the detail of this numerical we will study in the live sessions. Okay, till then these are references from where you can get the most of the information which is used in this presentation. Thank you.